Well, Somalia hosted its first technology and innovation conference this month with much talk about the industry's potential. Somalia's security threats and poor governance make attracting investment a huge challenge. But as Mohammed Sheikh Noor reports from Mogadishu, the company has set up the capital city's first co-working space to help foster Somalia's digital economy.
One of Africa's least secure and worst governed countries, Somalia is unlikely place for technology and innovation. iRice Hub co-founder Abdulhakim Ainte wants to change that by connecting investors with Somalia's young innovators.
We use technology as a means to get an employment opportunity for the Somali youth, who make up the 75% of the total population of the country, and all of them, they are surprisingly below the 30 years old.
iRice helped organize Somalia's first ever technology summit this month in the capital. The government wants to change the view that Somalia is not safe for visitors or investors.
Part of the commitment of the Office of Prime Minister and the Prime Minister himself to this city and Somalia as a general is to create an enabling environment that can attract investment from global investors and make Somalia the final destination for tourists and investors.
For a country in conflict, Somalia's digital market potential is striking, as mobile money has nearly replaced cash. The World Bank says Somalia has one of the most active mobile money markets in the world, with nearly $3 billion in transactions per month.
Using mobile money transfer has alleviated the burden of carrying huge cash in hand, and that has made our life much easier. You can simply buy something while using your phone wherever you are, in the shops and stores.
But the threat of terrorism and Somalia's poor infrastructure make attracting capital and supporting innovation a challenge.
The price of the internet and the price of electricity is like skyrocketing high. The other one is insecurity, which makes the whole process of doing business very difficult in Somalia.
Nonetheless, some remain optimistic about Somalia's technology potential. But innovation will remain a challenge as long as government resources are stretched and struggling just to provide the basics of security and services. Mohammed Sheikh Noor for VOA News, Mogadishu.
Mali is making efforts to reintegrate former members of armed groups into society as it launches a disarmament, demobilization and reintegration program in Gao, in the north of the country. It follows a peace agreement signed in 2015 after several years of conflict. The program entails the process of taking ex-combatants out of their groups and encouraging them to participate in the peace process. Have a look.
United Nations peacekeepers in Mali are working with national institutions to implement the disarmament, demobilization and reintegration program in Gao, a city in the northern region. It's a process which allows veteran fighters and armed groups to drop their weapons and be integrated into the regular army or into civilian life.
This segment today is the official launch, a launch which has a great significance because there are members of different groups who are signatories of the agreements who are all here supporting the process by their presence.
The event is attended by representatives of the government, Deputy Special Representative of the Secretary General, Baranga Gazarabwe, and leaders of armed groups. It is expected to be another important step towards the return of stability in northern Mali.
This is a historic moment. I would like to take this opportunity to recognize the willingness of Malians to launch this process of accelerated disarmament into the defense and security forces. It took a while, but we are acting at the right time.
Ex-combatants will be taken through orientation and vocational training programs aimed at helping them reintegrate into society and become active participants in Mali's peace process. Mali, a huge Sahel country, still faces jihadist threats despite more than 5 years of the international military intervention.
Now, the film Vaya from Nigerian-born director Akim Omotoso tells the story of three people who journey from the rural homes in South Africa to Johannesburg. As Michael Sullivan reports, it's a story of migration that deals with universal themes.
It is a story of lost innocence and betrayal.
Vaya tells the story of three strangers who get on a train, each of them with a mission to fulfill in Johannesburg. They're coming from Durban to Johannesburg. They never meet, but their stories are intertwined.
Each traveler has a mission, and each faces rejection, abuse, or violence. This coming-of-age film originated from real stories of South Africans in the Homeless Writers Project, a workshop for people living on the streets. Vaya means to go in the dialect of South African townships.
It takes on several meanings. So to go, they're leaving Durban to go to Johannesburg, but then when you get there, you know, maybe people don't want you to leave, so they want you to go, you know, so it really covers the, I'll say, the spirit of the project.
Omotoso is a migrant himself. He was born in Nigeria, but his family moved to South Africa, where he studied drama. Then he worked as an actor and director. Vaya is one of 20 films from filmmakers of color and women directors distributed by Array, an arts collective and distribution company founded by Hollywood filmmaker Ava DuVernay.
Our purpose is to make sure that audiences have access to films they otherwise would not see, those independent voices that deserve a platform for stories to be told.
Vaya has played at international festivals and opened at theaters in the United States in October. It will also stream on Netflix starting November 1st. The director says this South Africa-based film tells a story that many can relate to.
I always say everyone has a cousin who's arriving, or a brother who's leaving, or somebody who's coming. So Vaya is able to tap into, I guess, something that doesn't just happen in Johannesburg.
It taps into universal themes, adds the director, the search for a better life and the struggle for survival. Mike O'Sullivan, VOA News, Los Angeles.
Well, and that's our show for today. You can also visit us online at voaafrica.com. I'm Vincent McCory in Washington. Chamberlain also has our last word from Lagos.
Many thanks, Vincent. We look forward to bringing you another show next week. ChannelsTV.com is your source for news, sports, and other programming. I'm Chamberlain, so thank you for watching, and goodbye.